Hej och välkommen till bubbelprovning online.
Och idag är vi jätteglada för vi ska få träffa Franck Pascal från Franck Pascal. So very welcome, Franck.
Welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
Could you tell us a little bit about the champagne Franck Pascal?
Yes, I can, of course. It's about 30 years long. I'm a wine grower in Champagne, and let's share to discover our philosophy, our vision. Because when I started, I wasn't supposed to be a wine grower at the beginning. I changed my path. When I was kid, I worked a lot with my parents, and I decided to study a lot to do something different than winemaking. And later, a family event occurred. My brother, who was supposed to continue the path of a family for several generations, couldn't do this anymore. So I decided to come back and learn how to be a wine grower at that moment. But I wanted to do things with my own philosophy and my own sensibility. My belief is I think we are limited by the way we can see things, we can see the nature, we can measure life and so on, because we can't see all what exists. We only, with our eyes, for example, we only see a small part of what is visible with other things like X-rays, UV, and so on. Many other frequencies of matter are not visible for us. So I believe I believe there's a visible part of what we can see, and something we can't see. I really believe that when we can help the plants, the vineyard, to live also the matter part and the invisible part, when they can live the two at once, the both at once, they are stronger and more able to create incredible things.
So we will have to add that you really have a special sensibility to be able to feel and see this invisible part of the world.
Yes, I was lucky when I was really young. It wasn't luck at that moment, because I really felt so different than the other children. I could see things they couldn't see, and when I was really young at school, my teacher asked us only to draw a tree. So it's really easy to draw a tree, and what my teacher said is there's no light around the trees, but I could see it. So I could see at that moment I understood that I didn't see the world like many others did, and that's why we couldn't understand ourselves. So I stopped I stopped talking about these perceptions. And I closed it in my mind, and it made me able to develop logic and other qualities, and make me able to do very good level studies. And I nearly forgot this part of myself. And when one day it opened again, and I decided, as far as I was farming, I was working in the vineyard. I decided to find the way to put this sensation, this sensibility, as a chance for my work. So I learned to use this feeling to create better wines.
So you actually talk to the wines in a different way, and you experience nature in a much wider sense than we do.
I don't know what you do, but I'm really sensible to the light of life. I really look for something speaking to me. That's why from one way to the other, in 2000, I started organic farming, but I wasn't satisfied by the results. To me, something was missing. I heard about biodynamic because as I didn't see my soil living, changing as expected, to me, something was missing in the organic way of working. So I heard about biodynamic. I tried, even if I didn't understood what people were telling. I started in 2000 organic, but my soil didn't change, and I couldn't understand why. Another grower told me in south of France, told me, if you want to have a solution for your soil, go and see what biodynamics do. So I went to visit some biodynamics growers in Alsace, in Switzerland, in Germany. I saw wonderful soils. I saw beautiful plants, and I drank incredible wines. To me, there was a part of a solution there. But what was really strange was what they was saying about biodynamic. As I studied as a mechanical engineer, speaking about the moon, the energy of the planets, the force of life, and so on, was weird to me. I couldn't understand what they meant. But what I saw was really interpellating to me. So I had inside of me, I felt I had to understand what they was talking about. So I decided to be skeptical. To me, there's a bad skeptical and the good skeptical. The bad would say this is bullshit, nothing scientific in this, it's only marketing and so on. So they reject it. And to me, the good skeptical is someone who say, let's say what they say is the truth and compare it to my reality.
What was it that the biggest change that when you say, oh, now I understand it, now I can believe it?
I'm not sure we can understand fully biodynamic because it's so wide.
Okay.
But the change are really visible physically. I really
Okay.
very surprised to see the color of my soil in 01. I started biodynamic preparation called compost de bouse from Maria Thun. And
What is compost? What can you explain it?
it's a special preparation made about compost and plants,
Okay.
prepared a certain way. And we use only 240 grams per hectare, so really
Okay.
small quantity. You
Wow.
can take
Almost
it
nothing.
in the hands,
Okay.
and only that for 1 hectare. And we use a dynamization system to fix the information coming from this compost inside the water. Dynamization is like a copy of the electromagnetic field of this compost inside the water. So the water gets information, and we spray the water in the vineyard, and it makes a kind of resonance with all species living, and it creates a information system driving life, giving a direction for life, and it changes a lot of processes inside the life and inside the soil. And I was really surprised because it was 4 years I didn't use any fertilizers in my vineyard. And I saw my soil being completely dark in 3 months long. So it was
Wow.
really short period and with incredible result. And as I knew I used this preparation, I thought it was my imagination. I thought it was because I knew I did something, I see a change. So that year, I was really focused on my vineyard, and I forgot about the bottling. And my supplier has also another job. He is also a vineyard technician. So that means he goes in the vineyard, he analyzes many parameters, like for mildew, like for insects, for soil, many things. And when he came and see me in my vine, he said, "What did you do for your soil? It's dark. Did you use 10 tons of compost per hectare?" I said, "No, only 240 grams." He was, he was,
Incredible.
yeah, yes, he was laughing at me. He said, "Oh, okay, you don't want to tell me what you did. It's okay for me." But
Wow.
Wow.
it was the truth. And I saw the soil changing, and I made experiments 3 years on end in the same plots, where I cut the plots in 3 parts. And one part was organic, one part was sustainable, we would say, using a few
Yeah.
guide, and biodynamic. And I was really surprised to see how different the taste of the grapes was with biodynamic. Maybe to make you feel the change, the two first part, the sustainable part was like it was in O4. O4 was a red vintage. So when I tasted it, I had a Mon Chéri style on eating. So that means the skin break easily, a lot of juice
Aha.
inside,
Okay.
and
Very thin skin. Okay.
the seeds at the end inside the mouth. And it was there was a lot of sugar. So to me, alcoholic degree was high, suspected to be high. So I thought O4 will be a great vintage because the alcoholic degree is high. Uh, I'm better now about this. I know it's not on the only parameter important. Um, the organic part has also the Mon Chéri effect, but there was a better balance, not only sugar, there was a acid sensation, better balance, and the length was longer. In sustainable, it was really short. The length was longer in it's medium longer in organic. And the biodynamic part, I was surprised because I didn't have a Mon Chéri effect. It was like when you eat a tomato. It's not only juice inside, there's a lot of things, so it's structured. So
Wow.
inside my grape, there was a structure. I had to mash it. I
Chewy.
had Okay, I had to do this to extract the aromas, and I was really surprised by the level of acidity. There was something like electric inside, like mineral and electric, a strange sensation, and this made the aromas stay a lot longer in the mouth. So my opinion is to give an idea of a tasting. If you take an elastic with on post-it, you put the aromas, where when there's no tension, all the aromas are all the one on the other. That's the sustainable style. So everything is compact. There's no elegance. It's really, really confused sensation. With organic, there's a bit more tension, so there's a bit more space, a bit more length. And with biodynamic, there's a huge length because there's a lot of energy, a lot of tension inside. So the post-it are separated. This makes the wine easier to analyze, and it creates something more aerial, more elegant, with more length. It's really much more interesting. So that's why in '05 I decided to get more people in my team to work the same side of the vineyard and transform fully in biodynamic.
Okay. So can you tell us a little about your wine yards you have? You have Meunier, Chardonnay, and Pinot Noir. How is it divided?
We are located in Man Valley. You can see the map with Man Valley is the yellow part or yellow-orange part, depends on your screen. It's west side of Épernay. The place we are is here, so it's about 15 minutes by car from Épernay. There are a lot of different rocks in this part of Champagne.
Okay.
And we are located in this place. And if we focus on our small valley, it's not the same terroir from the beginning to the end. At the beginning of the valley, so I mean along the Marne River, there's archalk and clay. Further, there's silex, and at the end of the valley, there's millstone.
Okay.
Stone full of silicium with a few calcium inside. So this terroir makes different style of wine, and thanks to the exposure, we will have different density or preciseness of the wine, or depending on the weather, on the wind, when the grapes start their maturity. And we farm 7 hectares biodynamically with nearly a bit more than half Meunier,
Okay.
about a quarter Pinot Noir, and the rest is Chardonnay. As I told you, we were organic since 2000. We were certified in 04, yes, and fully biodynamic in 05. Taking care about our environment in the vineyard was necessary, but it's not enough. I think the potential of the wine comes from the plot, comes from the work we do in the vineyard, the yield we have. We studied no dosage champagne in 1998. We were surprised to see how fast it developed, because we were alone, nearly alone at that moment, and there was a beautiful success for us. But I was a bit scared because this no dosage champagne wasn't common, and I wanted to make sure people would like it year after year. So I asked myself a lot of questions to make sure we would be able to get a champagne with no dosage. So the first thing is we really want to get a sensation rather than acidity and sugar level. So I taste my grapes a lot, and to get maturity at its best level, our yields are really low compared to the average yield compared to the average yield in Champagne. We focus on the sensation we have in the grapes, and we also get the help from natural yeast. So we studied natural yeast in 01, and 01 was a really cold year. That means that year compared to 03 with a very warm year, it gives two different kind of wines. In 01, the wines produced with selected yeast were kind of austerity, not really pleasant to drink. And the same juice with natural yeast had something really elegant, balanced, pleasant to drink. So I was surprised by this result, because when I went to school, the teachers told us, be careful with natural yeast, it could be a problem, you can have many diseases and many failures and so on. So I decided to try, because I think it's really a part of the expression of our terroir, and because wild yeast live in a place where climate change from one year to the other, and I believe that the yeast were well adapted to the climate of the year. For example, if the year is dry and high temperature. Some yeast are well adapted to this kind of climate. So this one will develop and the other ones won't develop as fast, and there will be the most numerous in our vineyard. And it's the same for the composition of the grape. If when the climate is warm and dry, the composition inside the grape is completely different than when it's wet and cold, for example. So the balance, the molecules produced, and so on, everything is different from one climate to the other. And I think the yeast are more able to ferment our juices are the yeasts who lived these climatic conditions. So that's why I decided to ferment with these natural yeast. And in O3, I was really surprised to see that the wines fermented by selected yeast were really heavy because it was a warm year. There was a kind of lack of acidity. And with the same juice, so with the same level of acidity, but fermented by wild yeast, everything was in place. It was well balanced, really pleasant to drink. No heaviness, nothing heavy. Really, really good. So to me, the wild yeast were part of a solution we look for to get a very good expression from one year to the other, to make sure the consumer, when he likes this style of wine, will find it again and again each year. So we learned, I wanted to learn how to do these wild fermentations. In O4, I increased the quantity produced with wild yeast. And in O5, as it was my decision to turn fully organic, I decided to turn fully natural in the vinification with wild yeast.
Do you make wild yeast on all your cuvées now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Since since 05, I made only wild yeast. In 05, we had a problem, so I wanted to understand because the yeast are responsible for the alcoholic fermentation, and the bacteria change the style of the acids with malolactic fermentation. In 05, one vat stopped with 20 grams of sugar left by liter, and fermentation stopped, and bacteria started malolactic fermentation. But when there's sugar and the malolactic fermentation stops, the bacteria will try to survive thanks to the sugar. So they will use the sugar, but what they produce isn't something we want. They produce acetic acid, like in vinegar.
Ooh.
So I was starting to produce a vinegar. That wasn't my aim.
No good.
Not good, no.
Oh.
So I couldn't stop the fermentation. It was too late when I noticed it. I had a lack of knowledge at that moment. But I wanted to understand why maybe 30 different wines were clean and one wine had a problem. That was one of my mission, and I didn't understand. I didn't know what
How to control it. Okay.
to control, yes, and to make sure this can't appear in the future. And
Okay.
that year, my wife had a Hodge disease. She had a Hodgkin disease, and she said to me, even if the doctors tell me if I don't do anything, if I don't use chemotherapy, I'll be dead within 6 months to 2 years long. I feel in my body, inside myself, that if I use chemotherapy, it would kill me. So I want to do something different, but I don't know what. And that year, we managed to find, so as it was her life, I told her, it's not my decision, it's your life. So choose your path, choose by yourself, and I will follow you. And so she decided not to do chemotherapy. And we met a therapist in Paris, and this woman, in 5 weeks long, completely changed the result of blood analysis. So
Wow.
there were 17 red parameters, and 5 weeks later, only 2 red parameters. Everything was green again. So I was really surprised because she met this woman only once, and all was made in distance with a pendant, a pendule.
Okay.
She measured waves from her body, and found the places where things went wrong, and she made a special thing for her health.
Wow.
And I was really surprised it was possible. So I wanted to understand, as always, as a real engineer, I needed to know, to understand. So we met the teacher of this therapist, and we learned with him therapeutic methods to help people to recover health. I used this for COVID because I couldn't sell any more bottle of champagne. We were only in great restaurants, and all the restaurants were closed around the globe. So I decided to learn to help people to recover health after COVID. Um, this methods is special, and thanks to this knowledge, we understood more things about life, and this helped us to create a special way to vinificate. And that's why we make information only in natural vinification with informations. Like biodynamy is like an information for life inside the soil. We created information specialized for vinification. And I really, as when as use, for example, 501 is biodynamic preparation. I see the light coming from the plants again. When I make this information in the wine, I see the light come. It's as if the light and the matter has combined together, and this creates an emotion, and this creates a lively wine to me. And it's important for me to have this result, because I'm really focused on this vision of a light. To me, it's a path. It's a signal.
So you can use the same method to know about the wines, how they are. If the fermentation stops, you will know that, and you will know what to do.
Yeah, I can notice where the light isn't there, and at that moment some problem may occur.
Okay.
The challenge is to find the solution.
Exactly.
Yeah, for example, in 2010, we didn't use this method always. In 2010, we still use in some vinification a few sulfates at the press. Now since 11 there's no more sulfate at all. But at one moment during the vinification, natural vinification, we had a smell of like reduction aromas coming out of that, and not me, but we were together, and we noticed that the wine needed a red light, and because the red waves would help the wine to get its light back, and it was only 8 minutes long. So we found a red ampoule, red light.
Yes, light bulb.
Light bulb, okay, and we put it, we switch it on 8 minutes long in the vat, and the reduction aromas completely disappeared. So it was
What?
really
Wow.
Yes,
It
there
works.
are many things we really can't understand, and it's if we think we understand some things, it's difficult to prove it.
Yeah.
So the visible light from the sun doesn't have the same quantity of yellow, orange, red, and so on inside the spectrum.
Yeah.
And in autumn, the spectrum is more red than yellow. It's more yellow now in spring. And maybe due to the clouds we had for 3 weeks long, there was a lack of red energy in the waves the plant could get from the sun. So maybe it's a reason, and using this red light during fermentation could balance something missing to the wine.
Wow.
But that's just a theory. I can't prove it.
For us, it sounds a little bit crazy, but
It's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
If
Yes,
it works, it works.
Yeah.
there are many things to explore again. And
Yes.
we decided to try in 2015 to accompany one vine without any spraying and so on, only using these approaches. And we were surprised to be able to get the grapes in our press at the end. At one moment, I thought it was a failure because I saw some odium on Chardonnay, and I was really disappointed. I came back really disappointed, and at one moment, I heard a voice telling me maybe it's the moment when you can change things. Okay, so I went back, and I went back in the vine, and I decided to be more concentrated about a solution and more in communication with the plants, and I could feel that the energy on the skin of the Chardonnay uh, didn't flow the right way. So I found an information for this. I made the information, and I could see the energy going the right way again, and the light really powerful. And I decided to go back and see how things continue, because usually when there's not mildew but oidium, as soon as it starts, we can't stop it. And I was really surprised to notice that the same grape 3 days later was clean, no more
Wow.
no more oidium. So it was really surprising to me. So there are many things we could do, but it needs time, and I hope in the future I will have time to work on this subject, because it's really important. So on working this way in the vineyard and working this way in the cellar till the dégorgement, we can create wines with an energy we can feel inside the mouth. It's we feel emotions, we feel it. Even if people can't put words on this, usually it's these wines speak to them. Something occurs when we taste. And it's
Question.
always
You say that you don't make doesn't use any sulfites at all.
the sulfite. It's something we change slowly in our path. My vision is the life makes the wine for us. Before '05, I thought the wine growers make the wine, on adding things in the wine, extracting things through filtration or things like that. And the brewer changes or creates the personality of the wine in part. And after '05 and all this path, I think that all the life makes the wine for us. I don't know how to ferment a wine. The yeast know how to do this. The bacteria are the ones able to change the style of the quantity of acids, and the enzymes are the one who can break big molecules, can share it in different parts, and organize these parts another way to create new things, and that's what we call élevage. And all this is a natural process. It's a biological process, and I know if I use sulfite at press or during vinification and élevage, I would inhibit one part of the bacteria or enzymes and kill some yeast. So it's as if you go to the opera to listen a masterpiece, and you decide to kill one part of the players.
Okay.
One part of the masterpiece can't be the same. So my opinion, if I can drive like a chef d'orchestre,
Yes,
Director.
like a director.
like a director, if I can drive life inside my wines, the result can be better than what I can expect on with my imagination. So I decided to help life to do the best it can and be surprised.
So should we talk about the cuvées that we
Yes.
will try?
Yeah. So we have several non-vintage champagne. We have Fluence. So today we will try this one and this other one, and the rosé maybe another time. Fluence.
It's fantastic. We love it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I really fell in love with the tolerance when we met you the first time. I was, this is beautiful.
But should we talk about the Fluence?
Yes. Fluence is a kind of ephemeral cuvée, so it's not designed for a very long time. It was at the beginning, it was designed to protect the rest of our range. It's made from the plots we got in 13 and 15 when my parents and parents-in-law retired. We got these plots and we turned them biodynamically. But at this moment, the wines didn't show the potential of the terroir, weren't as deep, as precise, as pure as the rest of our range. So we decided to create Fluence and see it changing years after years. So the one you have now is from only 18, so between 3 to 5 years of biodynamy. And now there's something with personality. Fluence the name is inspired by a French verb fluer, meaning things changing slowly. And yes, that's right. And it's really what occurs when we start biodynamy. We give information, we help life to multiplicate, to get connection to their own energy and resources. And it makes the connection between the roots and the terroir completely different. And it's also helped the vine to get the sunlight easier. So it changes the combination of elements inside the grapes, so it changes the personality and it helps the terroir to be perceptible in the wine. So what you can see here is a beautiful maturity from 18. It's mostly Meunier, and you can feel the minerality coming from the soil. It's really well balanced. There's a beautiful length. It's a really, really good champagne. It's the first step in our range.
And what do you think you should eat to this champagne? Recommendation?
As I don't have it now on the palate,
no problem.
I'm not inspired, but we can try many things with this. I think seafood would be interesting, but less interesting as Reliance. Reliance to me will be higher level in this food pairing. But it's also pleasant with it. We can have so many things. We can have fish. We can have like tartelette with English cream.
We did some recommendation for this one. It's meat tartare that is on an Asian style.
Yes, with the mayonnaise with the miso. So the miso paste gives this very much umami. I think it was quite nice also because the mayonnaise has the acidity also together.
Yeah.
So
it works well.
But actually, when we tried it with blini and crème fraîche and just the roe forel from the what do you call it?
Yeah,
the fish roe, like the caviar. It was beautiful. I think it's thanks to the minerality in the champagne. It really pairs so well with the slight taste of the fish and the creaminess of the crème fraîche. It was really good pairing for me.
I was really surprised to see how it is able to match with different styles. We went once with my wife in a star restaurant, and the chef just finished the service, and he said, "Oh, let's try with this sauce and this thing," and everything we tasted was wow. Each time there's a beautiful complexity in this wine, even if it's young compared our range, and this complexity helps the wine to find resonance with many plates.
And it's quite a lot of Meunier.
It is, yeah.
So I'm surprised because normally when you drink Meunier, it's quite a little bit sweet in a way, a little bit heavy. It's not the same elegance. This one has so much more of the mineral.
It's very mineral.
And the elegance than you normally get in Meunier.
Yeah, so that's what I tried to explain with the difference between sustainable, organic, and biodynamic. That style was really the style I liked, and that's why I turned biodynamic.
Okay, so we go to the next one, Reliance.
Reliance, yeah. And Reliance is something different. It's also mostly Meunier. There is Pinot Noir, 13%, and 8 Chardonnay. And vintages are 14 and 15. So this was bottled in 17. 15 was a warm year, really warm. And we needed to balance the wine thanks to the minerality, and to get more minerals possible. We made a 2 years long élevage on lees to make sure the minerals inside the lees had time to go back in the matrix of the wine and get the freshness again. So
it's been 5 years on the lees or more. I think you can see the degorgement date.
Yes, depends on the degorgement date.
Yes, it's 2024.
There are 2 years on lees inside the cellar to get the minerals back in the wine, and it was bottled only in 17. And after 7 years long inside the bottle. So it makes 9. That's right.
Yeah, sorry, it's true. What is the difference between the Meunier in this one, in the Fluence, and the Meunier in the Reliance? What's the difference?
The difference is Reliance is made of a Meunier where we started biodynamic in 02.
Okay.
Fluence was in 13 and 15. Minerals are more persistent.
Yeah, it's really, so much more mineral
really
in
intense.
it. Wow.
I have to admit, the first time I tasted, I didn't really understand it because it was so much taste. I was totally confused. I didn't understand what I was drinking. So you have to, I think you have to give it time, and not always just drink, eat, but to give it the time to feel it, to enjoy it much more.
Yes, it's better. Reliance could be really enjoyable with 5 years of bottle only. It could. Thanks to biodynamic, the potential of aging of the wine is better. It's something even someone who produces vegetables can notice. When he turns biodynamic, I talked about it to someone who produces salads. Before being biodynamic, when he delivered salads, the salads were okay for 3 days long. And with biodynamic, they can stay in 7 days really in really good shape. So it's completely different, and the taste and everything is different. Biodynamic changes the energy of life, and the composition of the wine make it able to age a longer time. Some champagne with nearly 80% of Meunier, usually after 10 years, it's really difficult for them. They develop like old wine taste. It's not as pleasant as this one. This one still stay fresh and drinkable, easy to share.
And the last one.
Last one, Sérénité. And Sérénité is something different. Sérénité is a cuvée we create for emotion. We in Sérénité we connected to the way the monks made the wine centuries ago, especially the élevage of the wine. Élevage isn't about being in oak or in vat and so on. At the beginning, élevage meant elevate the vibration of a wine to connect to the light. And this connection between matter and light creates energy circulation inside. And this vibration makes a special sensation in our body, what we can call emotion, for example. So at the moment, it's 2013. So this one was bottled with no sulfate. And
I have a question. Why did you put extra brut on the label?
yes,
because you have brut nature on everyone else.
Yeah, there's no dosage. It's because when we ordered the labels, we did not know if it would be with or without sugar added.
Aha, okay.
That's the only thing.
Okay.
And it's 75% Meunier. The place where this cuvée come from is here, and the place with Pinot Noir, but we didn't use a Pinot Noir in this blend. And Chardonnay is from here, and we have 3 plots of Meunier.
Okay.
So it's a special place in our vineyard because we can see only one part, but there are 3 different valleys joining together, and it's really geologically perturbated. There are 5 different terroirs, 5 plots, 5 different terroirs.
Yeah, and I guess also the microclimate must be different in the different expositions.
Yes, it is because when we on the right part of the picture, there's La Bertellerie and La Mignonnerie. Mignonnerie means something like cute. And Guillerette, there are 3 plots on Guillerette lieu-dit, means joyful, full of joy.
Okay.
Smiling and so on, always happy.
The happy part and the cute part. I have one more question from one of our customers wonders if you're allowed to make the harvest at any time you want. You decide for yourself.
Not really. Not really. There's one month long during which we have to harvest.
Okay. But it's 1 month.
Yes, 1 month long. Yeah.
So you can start at the beginning or at the end of that month.
That's right.
Yes.
Usually I'm at the end.
Yes, we understand, because you want the full maturity and all the tastes.
Yeah.
Of course.
For me, when I'm trying this one, it's the one that is tickling mostly in the mouth. It's the acidity and the mineral is fantastic. This one we have choosing fish because it's so
more,
fresh.
Yeah, it's usually more vibrant and more mineral.
Yeah.
Because of this connection between matter and light, the vibration increases. So it says when you shake something, the minerals go away. The dust, for example, if you take something, you shake it, the dust goes away, and it's the same when we make the wine vibrate. We have a bigger sensation of minerals.
Yeah. Okay.
It's as if they're not inside the body of the wine, but extra side. Don't know. There's the wine and the minerals, and it makes a big sensation of minerality. Sorry for this.
You don't have a lot of Chardonnay in the Marne Valley, but you could.
Oh yeah, in our place, yes, of course. That's what my brother, my parents noticed in our village. We have, already know Harmony is a Blanc de Noir in this side of the village, and on that side of the village, other side, there's another place with a lot of vines, and this terroir is a lot of rocks of hard chalk, and it's soft exposure, and they decided to put Chardonnay there, and they give a really, really great Blanc de Blanc. At the beginning, in 2015, when we turned them biodynamic, we didn't have a mineral signature of a place, but with time, with biodynamic, since vintage 11, we have this mineral signature we wanted. That's why my strategy of getting Fluence for several years long, and after getting more identity with cuvées with more identity, worked. And in 19, I decided to create my first Blanc de Blanc because my sensation was the terroir was in the wine now, not before.
Luminance.
Yes, it's because to me, the Chardonnay is more elegant, more Aryan compared to Pinot Noir, with more bodied and structure, more in the matter. It's quintessence. Pinot Noir will make wines with edge body, powerful, and so on. Less aerial compared to Chardonnay. That's the balance between earth and light to me. But once together make the job.
I think after your explanation about the wines and how you make it, I feel the taste is different, to be honest.
Well, of course you do.
Like I feel it's something tickling in the mouth more than it did before.
So, meeting you is like meeting the artist behind a work of art.
Yeah.
Once you get a lot more understanding and explanation, the sensation and the experience of the wine is so much deeper. So. Thank you so much. It's
Yeah,
it's amazing for us.
Yep.
My pleasure.
So, should we say thank you? Do you have any more questions?
No, I'm totally
Okay.
blown away.
Okay. Thank you, Frank.
Blown away.
It has been a pleasure to listen to you and yeah.
If you do not want to add anything.
I don't have anything to say except once again.
Except that we also
Thank you for listening.
yes, and that we also can try confiance.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you for asking all this, and it was a pleasure to meet you again.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye.